Solomon Islanders have told Sky News they're deeply troubled by their government's secretive security pact with China. The announcement of the deal triggered concerns of possible riots and reportedly an assassination plot against the Prime Minister.
In the hills above Honiara, a United States flag flies, honouring the more than 7,000 Allied troops who died in the brutal Battle of Guadalcanal. Almost 8 decades on, the US and its allies are again fighting for dominance in the Solomon Islands. This diplomatic stoush is no less fraught.
The majority of the Solomon Islanders don't want this. In fact, we don't need a security agreement.
China's largely secretive security deal shocked Washington and Canberra, and Honiara residents have their reservations.
It's not good for us. It's not good for the country because we are a democratic nation. We need to really careful about how our leaders make decisions for our country and our children too.
While Australia remains the largest donor to the Solomons, China has been splashing the cash here. This $74 million stadium is one of many large projects funded through Chinese aid programs. Taiwanese media reported China gave the Solomons $500 million for cutting ties with Taiwan. Opposition MPs suggest Beijing is effectively buying off members of the government.
One of the main pushes for the switch was that China promised to triple what Taiwan was giving in terms of that discretionary fund for members of parliament. I think they have their own agenda that I feel is not in the interest of the Solomon Islands. It's in their own personal interests.
The Solomons' shifting relations with China has proven destructive. Last year's riots were sparked in part by the government's call to terminate relations with Taiwan. The recent China deal prompted reports of an assassination plot against the Prime Minister and fears of new nationwide unrest.
Tensions are definitely there. So there are certain segments of society that very much see this as an affront. They see this as a direct threat to them.
The Solomon Islands Prime Minister says fears over the new deal are overblown, that the country won't become a Chinese military base, nor will it be the victim of debt-trap diplomacy, while the US and Australia again open their respective checkbooks in a bloodless but contentious Pacific battle. Brent O'Halloran, Sky News.